Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about XinFin Network, aka XDC. So let's just dive in and let's start off with this tweet here from Ariel Lopez. Now, one thing I do want you all to understand with tokens like XDC, XRP, even QNT and all those, is that you could be waiting for a very long time before you see like the next big announcement. I always say that these are like the boring tokens of crypto because, again, when we look at tokens like Solana, I mean, Solana literally got shilled to the retail sector through VC and also YouTubers. And I talk about these tokens quite a bit because when we look at XDC, when we look at XRP, when we look at any of these major tokens, these tokens are being utilized within processes that are extremely large. These are markets that people don't really care to look at, like trade finance. Try to talk to any individual about trade finance. You're going to get the occasional nod and say, yeah, because they don't understand how large some of these markets are. These are boring things. Now, if I was to talk to somebody about, what Solana is doing, and I'm like, NFTs, the retail sector will go crazy about it because NFTs have been force-fed to the retail sector about how they're the next big thing, how NFTs are going to be this, because every single celebrity, every single major, individual out there was shilling them to the retail sector. So when we look at these tokens, XDC, it's a token nobody cares about until it shocks the entire market. And we have seen this in the past. We have seen it, previously on a lot of tokens, actually. XRP is a perfect example going back to 2017, 2018. Nobody cared about XRP until, boom, does a massive tear. So when we look at these tokens and when we look at some of these, mind maps, this is a mind map around XDC with R3 Corda, DTCC, Swift, XRP. You see CBDCs mentioned there with BIS. You see Trade Phoenix. So you see Impul. You see Ethereum. You see even Solana as well. You see everything happening around these major markets like R3. And it's not just because I see the umbrella icon here, but R3 is an umbrella ledger. Right? It is a platform that is centered on DLT that bleeds into every major industry around the world. And they have been powering a ton of trade finance products for a while. They are directly connected into DTCC with the R3 project Ion, but also it enables DTCC and Swift with ISO 20022 standards on Corda and accelerated instant settlement possibility through tokens like XRP and even XDC. This is a huge, huge area of focus. And these mind maps are massive. I mean, here's another one over here for an example, right? And by the way, the individual that is creating these mind maps, I don't know why I don't follow him, but it's XX_1133_1221_11. And yes, I know that is a crazy name to say, but that is the name behind a lot of these mind maps and the connections. Also, Utility Theory does help with this. He's one that really kind of collaborates with him on making these. But we do see XDC Conceptual Research mind map of industry process and global entities key players. Andre Casterman, you are a true trade finance pioneer. I mean, look at the connections here through digitization with trade finance. You might think of this and say, well, this is just nonsense. It's just a diagram of things happening. But I want you to understand that this is the vast disruption that happens through digitizing one specific market, and that's trade finance. Trade finance is such a massive market. It's a $19 trillion issue that is extremely plagued with a massive inefficiencies that could be solved through digitization. The number one thing is that banks want to utilize digital process. That's the thing, right? These banks want to digitize their processes, but the problem is the cost associated with it. The cost behind digitization is extremely expensive. But that's where XDC network comes in. That's where crypto and DLT comes in, because the digitization processes within this market are actually extremely affordable. We actually do see down here from the TFDI, right? platform that addresses the business and regulatory issues impacting banks and non-bank financial institutions when distributing or investing in trade finance, includes common data standards and definitions to address operational inefficiencies, transparency issues, and risk. They are also focused on the cost associated. It's streamlining the entire process around cost as well, because eliminating the high cost entry to digitization products is a big game changer. And we do see a full breakdown of even Anegio through Trace Original, which DDoC was already adopted in on some major entities around the world already. But we are seeing a lot more adoption happening. But all of this is through API connections and database connections, which is going to streamline a lot of the processes that we even talk about when we discuss QNT and Quant, that are API gateway to DLT is a huge area of focus, because it does allow something like XDC also to be adopted in, because if you guys don't know, yes, they already have a partnership with XinFin to offer a lot of their trade finance products to their offering suite, which is huge because they're already building connections to 1,000+ banks, as well as a huge opportunity through MEXC, which powers the European nations. So it's a huge area of focus. But yeah, this is the substantial amount of adoption and disruption that these tokens hold behind them. We also do see over here from Block XDC, a picture says 1,000 words. Spending your time looking at prices isn't guaranteed to lead you to find a value. XDC equals a real community with real people built for real world. And here we have the top blockchain ecosystem protocols best for crypto enthusiasts. Blockchain ecosystem protocols refer to a network of participants that share business objectives and relationships. These coins are excellent for transferring business value efficiently. When we do see XDC being mentioned at number 1, we also see XLM. I'm surprised to not see XRP here. It's actually pretty crazy to not see XRP here. And in fact, we see we see Ethereum. We see Ethereum mentioned here. It's comical. I've talked about Ethereum. I don't believe that Ethereum is going to be a huge opportunity around businesses going forward. I mean, we're still years away from anything that Ethereum could really offer to the business sector. That's why I always look at, tokens that are already here doing things in a much bigger aspect, which XDC is definitely one of them. Casper is also another one. There's a ton of awesome networks out there doing things much bigger than what Ethereum will ever achieve. But I focus on the ones that are extremely undervalued. Or undervalued instead of overvalued, like Ethereum. But we also do see over here from Andre Kasperman, despite all the problems around FTX, Fink said he considers the technology behind crypto will be very important. I believe the next generation for markets and next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And yeah, I think that when we really look at the value behind this market, this technology will drive the next major revolution around technological advancements. I always say it time and time again whenever I talk about tokens like XDC or even XRP. I say that the value added behind these networks is going to be realized once these major entities no longer have a door to knock on. That door to knock on right now is regulations. They're still trying to plan around things. They're still trying to get through these regulatory bounds. But the problem is that there's still a lot of obstacles in the way of them jumping in and utilizing crypto tech. But once those doors are open, once those locks are unlocked, it's game over. It's truly game over. And we do see over here breaking news on the MEXC digital trade front. Kariba, out of its leadership position, is pleased to announce their collaboration with the ITFA through the FinTech Committee to support trade finance digitization and MEXC adoption in different. And we'll have to go and check this out. But let's jump into this and let's look at this. So we do see, I'm very proud to welcome the leading SaaS treasury and working capital platform to the DNI initiative. The alignment of policy and technology development offers new opportunities for banks as corporates want to ease the handling of negotiable instruments, such as promissory notes, bills of exchange, and bills of lading. And yeah, this is going to be huge for major benefits around digital negotiable instruments. Will hugely benefit banks and corporates as well. It's centered on some of the largest money markets out there, and it is going to support trade finance digitization and MEXC adoption in different markets around the world. So it's going to spread rapidly. And yes, this is very beneficial for XDC. For anybody out there that was asking, what does this have to do with XDC? Everything. Everything that we're seeing around digitization within the trade finance market has everything to do with XDC. I want you all to understand that. And Also, I want you all to understand that when we look at some of these markets like trade finance, it's only a matter of time before we see major adoption within these areas around XinFin, around even DLT itself. And it's going to be centered on things like the ITFA. The ITFA has been expanding rapidly. And also, I want you all to understand that you need to focus on Andre Casterman as well. Andre Casterman truly is a major domino effect around XDC. What he's focused on and where he's centered on with a lot of these major names is big for not only XDC, but also crypto itself. And in fact, I have this over here from LinkedIn, again, from Andre Casterman, actually, aligning policy and technology developments for trade finance to become liquid, thanks to ITFA's market-leading industry initiatives. I was delayed to introduce the latest market transformations in payments and trade finance to the Central and Eastern European community last week in Vienna at Raffenstein, I hope that I'm saying that. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's the Bank International AG premises. And here you guys have some breakdowns of this. So first off, we do see major market transformations are underway, new client expectations, ESG, institutional investors, tokenization, and this is centered on some big areas. I don't know if you guys can see this. Hopefully you guys can, but you can see all of the major names down here. This is supported by evolving regulatory frameworks and stakeholders. You see the World Economic Forum, you see the World Trade Organization, Law Commission, United Nations, UNCITRAL, G7, the European Central Bank, Abu Dhabi Global Markets as well. I mean, this is some of the largest names around this sector. You also see, again, two collaborative initiatives, corporates and SMEs, investors and credit issuers, and then you see banks and non-bank originators at the center point, and you also see trade finance distribution and digital negotiable instruments in between both of these as a bridge to this. Very large. And here you guys have, through Inigio, again, DLT-based document technology, digital trade, paperless negotiable instruments, as well as digital bills of exchange and promissory notes. Guess where this is centered on? DLT. Huge. And here you have another slide here. Check out all of the major names tied to this, the DNI. Do you see the name that we are all focused on? XDC. Yeah, it's the only major name on here that we are aware of around blockchain technology. And some of these, yes, are centered on DLT, like Cargo X, for an example. We've talked about them in the past. But I want you all to understand that XDC, XinFin, is a part of all of this, especially with some of the largest names out there. Like, for an example, Finastra, which we've broken down before with XRP. And there's some other names on here that you guys can look up and you probably know about, like Citi, for example. And then over here we do see the ICC Standards Initiative, the Digital Standards Initiative. This is with, and let me zoom in real quick, so years of digitizing trade documentation, 20 plus, central MLATR adoption since 2017, 3 jurisdictions. Global Electronic Bill of Lading issuance in 2020, 0.1%. So this is just getting started. There's still a lot more to this, which is very exciting. And there's a lot more slides here. There's over 10 plus slides, 13 to be specific, that are talking about digitization. And you do see trade tech with XDC being centered on for automation around, again, trade finance. This is Basel IV, increased SME funding, trade finance is investable and transparent asset class. Like, this is so big. I want you all to understand that XDC is going to be the tech stack, the back-end layer behind all of this. This is so exciting. I don't even think people realize how large this is. This is going to make trade finance a liquid asset class. That is absolutely mind-blowing. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, that's been Nick. Peace out, guys.